What up, this is Rama covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Top Gun Maverick. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/RamaScreen. That's patreon.com/RamaScreen. Let's rock this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Prior to watching this sequel, I had my concerns. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of the original film, but there is such a thing as arriving too late. And my fear was that Top Gun Maverick might arrive 30 years too late. For example, when Sin City 2 came out, a decade after Sin City, look what happened. Nobody cared about Sin City 2 other than that Eva Green scantily clad poster. But luckily, in this case, I was wrong, because Top Gun Maverick is a surprisingly solid sequel. It's actually a pretty awesome film, with crazy intense high-speed flying sequences that are so visceral and pulse-pounding, they make you feel like you're there on those FA-18s. And just like last year's Ghostbusters Afterlife, Top Gun Maverick also does nostalgia and legacy the right way. They absolutely nailed it with the story, and any concern I had quickly dissipates the minute Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone blasts out the intro, inviting you to party like it's 1986 all over again. Story by Peter Craig and Justin Marks, written by Aaron Kruger and Eric Warren Singer and Christopher McQuarrie, and directed by Joseph Kosinski. In Top Gun Maverick, after more than 30 years of service as one of the Navy's top aviators, Pete Maverick Mitchell is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot and dodging the advancement in rank that would ground him. When he finds himself training a detachment of Top Gun graduates for a specialized mission, the likes of which no living pilot has ever seen, Maverick encounters Lieutenant Bradley Bradshaw, call sign Rooster, the son of Maverick's late friend, and radar intercept officer Lieutenant Nick Bradshaw, aka Goose. Facing an uncertain future and confronting the ghosts of his past, Maverick is drawn into a conflict with his own deepest fears, culminating in a mission that demands the ultimate sacrifice from those who will be chosen to fly it. Starring Tom Cruise, Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly, John Hamm, Glenn Powell, Lewis Pullman, Ed Harris, and Val Kilmer. To say that Tom Cruise still got it would be an understatement, because the guy turned 60 this year and he still has the stamina of a 20-year-old. And once he wears that Maverick jacket, those Maverick glasses, and that Maverick motorbike, damn, he looks like he never left that role at all. I love the way his character is written in this one. It's not really a life crisis, but more of a purpose crisis. Maverick is trying to figure out if his value as an experienced captain still has a place in today's world. And there's a certain sadness to Tom's performance. You really feel for the guy. The script does a hell of a job of making us empathize with his predicament. The rest of the supporting cast are just as fantastic. John Hamm is terrific as the somewhat douchebag admiral who knows how to assert his authority. And the new fighter pilots led by Miles Teller basically carry all the swagger and the ego and the ball-busting attitude that reminds Maverick of him and his old friends back in the day. Speaking of whom, Val Kilmer showing up brings tears to my eyes, seeing how frail he is today, and yet he musters up the spirit and the strength to do one deeply moving scene with Tom. God bless Val Kilmer. That's all I'll say about that. The only character that doesn't quite land well for me is the inclusion of Jennifer Connelly as Penny, who was briefly referenced in the previous first movie. Look, I get it. I get that Kelly McGillis couldn't come back, but Penny is just too much of a stranger. No matter how hard they try to concoct some history between her and Maverick, it all feels so distant to me. But of course, the bigger star of this movie are those aerial fights or sky combat, or dogfight, however you want to call it. I'm not too savvy in terms of Navy pilot jargons, but man, the editing and the sound mix and the cinematography on those sequences are incredible. Just absolutely stunning. I can't wait to see the behind-the-scenes featurettes on the Blu-ray release, just to see how they pull those off. Because right now I am obsessed with it, and this is a movie that doesn't break its own momentum. It's immersive and it keeps you on the edge of your seats, and even if you're not into aviation, the various fighter jets featured on this film will wow you, to the point where I kinda wonder how much further can we push the boundaries of these technologies? How many more sound barriers? How many more crazy maneuvers? They just blow your minds. So, in conclusion, 30 years is worth the wait after all. I'm glad they took their time in molding the right story for Maverick's long-awaited, long-overdue return. And man, Tom Cruise, love him or hate him, that son of a bitch is unstoppable.